Welcome to Burlesk Custom Guitars. Guitars have been my passion for my entire life. Handcrafted by my hands to be played by yours. Each one I create is like no other. My name is James. Come along with me on this musical journey. Burlesk Guitars from the bench. I'm James Burlesk. Sit down, let's have some fun and talk about guitars.
Hi, James.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Welcome to Burlesk Guitars shop.
Excellent. Well, one shop of many.
One of many, yes.
May I ask you about Burlesk Guitars?
Burlesk Guitars was something I started, quite a long time ago, but officially it was started about 8 years ago. And it's what I like to call your A to Z guitar wellness center.
Ah.
Yes.
So what type of work do you do?
Well, I do full-on guitar repairs, anything on a guitar, literally bass, any stringed instrument. I fix guitar pedals.
Mm-hmm.
I do guitar amplifiers and bass amplifiers. Like I say, pretty much anything A to Z. If it's something to do with guitar or bass, I'll take a stab at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite type of work to do?
That's tough, but really, I really like doing electronics and wiring and stuff like that. That's kind of why I really started repairing guitars when I was like 14.
Yes.
And it was just like upgrading pickups and pots and caps and stuff like that, and it just blossomed from there. But my favorite part is building, and then second would honestly be refinishing, and third would be electronics.
Okay.
And fretwork, well, that's just, yeah, that's so much fun.
So much fun. It's a lot of work. Labor of love.
It is. It
Yeah.
really is. Most important part of your guitar, and most people overlook them constantly.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So maybe we should look at a couple of your custom guitars to get an idea of the type of work you do.
Yeah, we can do that.
What are you doing, James?
I am working on Jimber's bass body, just sanding it out, getting all the edges nice and smooth. And today I cut Alex's baritone neck and cut the angled headstock, and I set it and glued it. And what else have I done? Lots of sanding. Tons and tons of sanding. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, keep sanding.
That's been a good day.
Hi, Julio.
Hi, welcome, and I was just going to let you know who the person is behind the camera, the person taking the photographs, the commentator, and the dictator. My wife, Lori. Let's say hi, Lori.
Hi, Lori.
Oh. We were going to talk about the Gordo. This is a custom build that I did a couple of years ago for the guitar show. And it's, as you can see, made out of hockey sticks partially. And what I did was I did a little bit of research and found out that a lot of hockey sticks are made out of alder and ash. And what I wanted to do, I mean, I've seen these built before, and guys will use hockey sticks, but they will use the entire hockey stick as the body. And I was like, well, that's kind of weird. So I thought I was going to build it like a real guitar. So I thought I was going to build, you know, like a Les Paul. Let me just take this down. And what I did was I did a mahogany two-piece back that is 3/4 of an inch thick. And then I did the hockey sticks 3/4 of an inch thick. And I planed them all down and leveled them and clamped them all together. And then I clamped this down and did my thing and, you know, built this sucker up. It's got a bird's eye maple neck and the Burlesk 4-2 headstock, which, you know, is kind of cool. It's kind of pretty. And on the back we got the logo, jumbo stainless steel frets, graphite nut. And in the pickup position, we have a DiMarzio Blues Bucker, one of my favorite pickups that I have now fallen in love with ever since actually building this guitar. And then I've got a Hipshot bridge with the Tunamatics built in. Kind of Les Paul Jr. feel going with this guy, and that's what I was going for. The amazing thing about this guitar was the actual overall sound. When I was finished, I was really amazed with the tone of this thing and the feel. It's got a great feel. It's a fun guitar to play. Obviously, it's kind of, you know, with the hockey stick theme, it kind of gets you going. It's great for playing blues. It's rock. I play slide on this thing, and it sounds great in all genres, which is really cool. And the reason I fell in love with this pickup is it's a P90 kind of clone that they did. And what they did was they made a humbucker with a P90 type sound, but it's noiseless. So it's that beautiful P90 tone with no hum. And the thing is, you can also coil tap it as well. But what was really cool was when you know, the final test came, the bench test for this, I discovered that when I turn this tone all the way down, it's like I moved this pickup from here to here. And that just was like bonus. So yeah, I'm just gonna give it a little whirl for you so you can hear what it sounds like. I'm running into, turn off that delay so that doesn't drive you nuts. I'm running into my Burlesk fuzz pedal, the purple fuzz, which I custom make. And if you're curious about that, you'll be sure to see an episode on my pedals, or several, I'm sure. Running into a Mesa Boogie on the clean channel. So basically, it's the fuzz is what you're hearing for the overdrive or distortion tone, and then we've got my good friend here, the Blues Bucker. I'm just gonna horse around. That P90 classic tone that you can hear, gives you that classic, I mean, that kind of reminds me of AC/DC kind of tone, a little bit of, you know, the old classic rock and roll. Not a lot of effects on there, just a tiny bit of reverb, so, you know, that's kind of what you get. But this is the cool thing, as I was saying. I'm just going to hit a couple of chords again. I rolled that tone back, and you can just, it's like I went thump.
Yeah.
So I move it to the bridge again. I'm going to let you hear that again. stains. Just keeps going and going and going. It was just, it's not it's like a dream come true build for me, really. Yeah, so that made me just fall in love with this pickup. This guitar is one of my main guitars now. And yeah, it's a lot of fun to play, as I said. One of a kind, custom made here, right in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Burlesk custom guitars. And yeah, pretty proud of this sucker. Made a bass too, made a Telecaster too, but hey, you'll probably see those in another episode as well. But yeah, for the spotlight today, it's Gordo. And there's a good reason I named him that too. Think about that.
James,
Hi.
what are you doing?
I'm building a tone bender 3-knob pedal for a customer.
Hmm,
Yeah,
that's very cool.
it is very cool.
What's the coolest thing about it?
It's a very hard pedal to find, and it was used by Jimmy Page on a lot of his first, actually I think the first 4 albums he used a tone bender, and it really gives you his tone, like literally. But it's a really cool pedal. It's a fuzz pedal.
Okay.
Lots of fun.
And what's all this stuff around you?
This is where I do my electronics and pedals repairs and modifications and anything like amp repairs or whatever like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are these items around you? Just a general understanding.
Okay. So like I have monolithic capacitors, film capacitors, all different kinds of capacitors that I use on a day-to-day basis and a regular basis. I've kind of made a collection of them, and then I have true bypass switches, 100K pots, 1 to 20K pots, all different kinds of pots anyway. And then I have more capacitors here because there's always room for more capacitors.
Okay.
Yeah, always room for more capacitors.
You're a fan of capacitors.
Well, there's so many. There's so many. Anyway, and then...
Do you recycle parts?
I do, depending upon what they are. With newer stuff, because everything's so flush mount and they use these micro parts, it's pretty much hard to. But older stuff, absolutely. I'll, like, if it's got germanium caps in there or oil and paper caps or something like that, I'll take them out. Or if a transistor in an amp works or a choke works in an amp that's, you know, screwed, I'll keep that or something in case a client needs something down the road.
Okay.
I don't have an enormous graveyard, as they call it, but I keep practical things. There's a lot of people that keep everything. I just kind of keep practical things.
Right. Well, order's clearly important for you.
Yeah, and I don't have a lot of room. I mean, I got a lot of room, but I don't want to use every inch of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Fret edges. You can hear it.
Can you ever?
This is when you get sprouting, when your frets are sticking out. And now what I do after is I take a little wee guy like this.
What kind of file? Is that a diamond file?
This is actually a specialty file specifically designed to do this. And it has a rounded edge and a flat edge, depending upon what kind of neck you're on.
Okay.
And it basically what it does is, if you can see how square those corners are, then after I just round them down and make sure there's nothing sticking out. So it's nice and smooth. I call them vampire teeth.
Yeah, they grab your fingers.
Well, it's like playing a cheese grater.
Yeah.
Comfort is more than anything when it comes to playing guitar.
Why
it's
is
not
that?
comfortable, and well, it's like anything. If it hurts, what are you gonna do? Put it in the corner.
Yeah.
You know, most people just live with it. It's really silly. I don't understand it, but that's why I'm here, I guess.
That's why you're there.
Yeah.
Burlesk Guitars. Your cheese grater vampire teeth specialist.
It's me. You can see.
Yeah.
And what this does is it rides along the edge, right?
Let me see it.
It's on an angle. It's 35 degrees.
Okay, yeah.
Rides on the edge, and just takes enough off, and I can see when it starts to hit the wood. These aren't too bad. So usually it's kind of funny. It's
be honest, I'm not kidding. Usually the frets sprout on the bottom side of a neck more than they do on the top. They always seem to be more on the high side than on the low side. I can do some guitars and they're really bad on this side, and there's like barely anything on this side, which is strange. I guess it's uneven shrinking of the neck. I don't know.
Oh, that could be, yeah, right.
Yeah, but it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
How it works that way.
Huh.
And it doesn't have anything to do with like the radius or any of that stuff, but I don't know. It's one of those anomalies.
Anomalies. Guitar anomaly.
Guitar anomaly.
Very good. Thanks for that, Mr. Burlesk.
Yeah, no problem. And then when you bevel the edges, because what happens, you're beveling the edges, you're actually pushing this edge up and squaring it off. So normally after, I like to do a level and a fret dress as well.
Sure.
And these aren't very bad at all, but they do have a bunch of flat spots in certain spots. So I just take care of things when I see them. I don't like to let things go.
Right.
And I usually advise my clients to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because the longer you let pits and stuff go down, the worse it is. The harder it is to get out.
Right.
And in some cases, if you let them go far enough, and I've seen guitars that, and many of my clients can attest to this, they've been told they need to refret their guitar.
Right.
And then they bring me the guitar, and I just put the extra elbow grease into it, and I do what I call a double or a triple crowning, and get the frets back into shape. It's a bugger, but I can do it. But most guys will tell you need to refret your guitar.
Well, it's a lot of work. Like
It's a ton of work either way.
Either
whether
way.
you do the refret
Yeah,
or
true.
but I mean, logic would say to me, you know,
Woo!
that's a gooder.
I might keep that in there.
Yeah.
For authenticity.
Authenticity.
Yes, go ahead.
Logic would say to me to take care of things as you see them.
Yeah.
And the frets are the most overlooked thing on a guitar.
Yeah.
People will put a pickup in their guitar before they
You're crazy.
put, you know,
Yeah.
some hours into their fretboard. It's not priority, right?
Right.
But when they're struggling with their setup and they're adjusting things and raising action and trying to figure it out, 99% of the time it's their frets.
Yeah. Makes sense. Are you playing today, Julio?
Jess.
Yes. Okay.
Jess.
Yes.
Jess
You're a
balls.
very good guitar player, Julio.
I play flamenco
Very nicely.
with my paws. Jess, I am of the sexy.
He is of the sexy.
I'm just setting this neck straight so that when I do the level, then I know it is. So as you can see, it's kind of hard to tell, but you want to look right in the middle of the neck
Okay.
and see how that is everything's touching, and then I'm going to move it up on top of the frets. Same thing. So now I know this neck is straight.
Gotcha.
So now I can in all, without any doubt in my mind, use my leveler and know that this is going to be done evenly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Great.
So that's kind of how we get to this. You know, we get to this point. Like I said, I do the edges first, I round them off, which I'm going to do in a second. I don't want to film it all, but and then I do the level, crown, dress, and polish.
Hey, we're back. What are we doing now?
I am crowning the frets after I have leveled them.
Okay.
As you can see down here, I kind of got a little ahead of you. You can see down here, these are leveled now. Everything was leveled, the whole fretboard. And then you can see up here, these are crowned. So you can kind of see, back up a bit, you can see the difference between a crowned and a leveled fret and the importance of doing such. See how it's flat on this? And then over here it's rounded on the top properly at the peak. That's what you need to do. A lot of folks will just level them and then leave it, but that screws up your intonation.
Okay.
Yeah, you want your crowning and everything to be dead center because that's where your fret line is.
Right.
So if it's flat and a wider space, especially if you got jumbo frets, if it's a wider fret, you definitely want to keep the peaks on those things in premium condition. The wider fret's more for feel, it's not for contact. It's you know, it's got to be crowned. It's like the relief in a neck. If the fret's not crowned, you're going to have that same kind of problem. You're going to get buzzing because you're going to be hitting the frets after it.
Right.
It's all about
physics, really. Even the setup is all about physics. It's a tuning song. The setup song. One of the most important parts of refinishing a guitar is making sure you get to the wood. You can see here, it still looks like wood right there, and a lot of people will just go down to it and they think they've gotten to the wood, and that's actually the sealer. And if you haven't gotten that sealer off, when you go to put your sealer on, it's going to sit on top of it and not mesh. So you got to make sure that you get everything down to the wood. Spray overs and that are half-assed. You're just putting paint on paint and you're adding weight to the guitar and killing your tone. So if you're going to refinish a guitar, always take it down to the wood. That's the only advice I can give you.
Hi, James.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Good. What's going on here in the spray booth?
I just finished coating this yesterday with vinyl sealer. This is a Strat that I'm painting for a client of mine. I finished up a seafoam green for him a little while back, and now he wants a clamshell pink. So that's what this guy's going to be. Yeah. So I use a vinyl sealer before I do anything. So this is just at the sealing stage. I have a white vinyl sealer for colored, and I also have a clear vinyl sealer for doing stains and stuff like that, or natural ones.
More opaque finishes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got you. Beautiful. Okay, it'll be interesting to see it with color. How many times will you coat it with color?
Depending upon how dark they want it, because what I do is I don't use paints, I use tinted clear coats. So I can actually build the color up, so I can make it super light or super dark. In this case, it's going to be like a clamshell pink, so it's going to be, I would say, probably about 4 to 6 coats.
Okay, what's the most you've ever put on a guitar?
If you want a really deep finish on some wood grain guitars, you put it's based on spraying millimeters. So
okay.
You can only do up to 5 millimeters sprayed wet.
Okay.
So that's probably going to confuse people. So
how many coats would that be? About 5 millimeters?
5 millimeters would probably be about 20 coats.
Okay.
That's a lot.
A lot of coats. That was Charlie in the background
that's
barking.
That's Charlie.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
That's more authenticity for you.
Yeah.
The dog barking.
Always making it real.
Yes. Well, I look forward to seeing it clamshell pink.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Wow, that looks amazing. How many coats is that, James?
This is the 3rd coat.
3rd coat.
First coat I do lightly on top of the vinyl sealer, and then I sand in between each coat with 3000 sanding pads, and then I do 2 heavy coats on top, and I'm going to do 1 more heavy coat. That gives me enough room to clean up anything and make it nice and smooth for the clear coat. And then the clear coat goes on top of it, which will probably be about 3 coats as well. And then I sand that, buff it, and voila.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Can we see the back of that?
Sure.
Sorry about the noise in the background, but it's the spray booths, fan, exhaust.
Yep, 600 cubic feet filtered. And yeah, I built the booth specifically for just spraying this size and shape and